Good morning, folks. How's everybody doing today? I have 0 listeners at the moment, but that will change shortly, I do believe. Well, I got one now, so. Good morning, Kinky. How you doing? It's cold. It's miserable. And I decided, fuck it, I'm going live. So, I figure why not share the misery? I'm going to be posting the links out for anybody that might show up and want to be in here. So, there is that. Ain't it a bit weird to be cold in Texas at this time of year? For some reason, that just strikes me as extremely odd. Oh, Lord. Got some coffee. Make sure everything, all my ducks is lined up here this morning. I got a 357 Magnum sitting beside me. Got a 9mm on the other side of me. Got the coffee. Got my vape. We're good. Sounds like the start of a perfectly good day to me. Never had Bones coffee. Never heard of it. But speaking of Black Rifle coffee, apparently PSA is selling a lot of this stuff. So, like I said, I've never even heard of it before. So, see what's going on the gun channel side over here. I figure Tony will be in here in a little while. He normally shows up for these early morning chats. Unless, of course, he's out hunting, which is a grand possibility. I like to hunt, but I'm just not one of these people who's going to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do it. I figure that as long as I'm in the woods before the sun comes up, the deer won't mind. Yeah, I might have to try some one of these days. See, my issue is I drink instant coffee most of the time because I do not have time to wait on coffee makers. I am when in the mornings. I just no. I need coffee. I need it now. So normally it's tap water as hard as I can get it and my instant coffee. I have done that for many, many years. I used to do that when I actually made coffee. Um, I'd make a pot today and I'd drink on it for 2 days. Just let it sit overnight. By the next day, it's so strong you stand up and kick you, but good stuff. Uh, Need to figure out exactly what Matt's going to have his show about tonight. Haven't talked to him as of yet. That ought to be interesting one to do. Well, hello, Isabella. Early mornings has got everybody up and running, apparently. But finally getting a handle on things at work. Been a bit of a interesting learning curve. The backside of the 4473s takes a lot of getting used to because there's a lot of information and it has to be done and it has to be done correctly. If it's not, it screws everything up. And I've made mistakes here and mistakes there trying to get it right, and getting a bit frustrating, but I'm getting it slowly. But where are you at, Isabella? Last I heard, you was somewhere in fine Ape. How are you, sir? Arkansas. Fine Ape. I will post the link if you'd like to jump in here, sir. Yep. I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep this thing up and running this morning, but I figured there'd be somebody awake and bored, so start one up and see how it goes. Oh, what? You're too good to eat a damn sandwich in here with me? That's okay. I just ate one of your bananas. It was at that perfect point before it was completely yellow. It still had a little green to it. Twins are the best. I was actually thinking about you as I was munching away on it. And what kind of sandwich are you eating? Uh-huh. I'm actually thinking on a trip to Subway tonight myself for dinner. Unless I can find somewhere else. Hey, David, how are you, sir? Beef steak sandwich. Uh-huh. Since when does monkeys eat beef? That's the turn the heat up a little bit. It is damn chilly this morning. I don't know what the hell the temperature is. Ain't bothered to look. But uh I'm doing okay, I guess, all things considered. Trying to wake up, get some coffee in me, which normally takes a little while. Wake up, man. Already got the coffee in me. Hey, Vandalistica, how are you, sir? How's things in Australia? Lucky bastard, it's getting summertime over there. That just ain't fair. Ought to be a law against that. See, people complain about how hot it gets in the summer. I don't. The heat don't bother me. I like it when it's, 95 degrees and 90% humidity. That don't bother me. When it's, 42 degrees and freaking rainy and wet and miserable, that's when I hate it. I am not a fan of cold weather or winter at all. I think I could live quite happily in the Amazon jungle. A nice yearly temperature of, 85, 90. That's perfect. I can deal with that. The only problem with that is those countries down there don't tend to like you to have firearms. So, I've heard people say that too, but actually, I have found that I can cool down a whole lot faster than I can get warm. Exclusive announcement on my chat. And what would that exclusive announcement be? You're moving to the United States in search of freedom.
Ellis Hatfield.
Tony, hey you sir.
I'm all right, man. How goes it?
It goes. I was expecting you to show up. I figured you'd either show up or you're hunting, one or the other.
Well, I can go hunting anytime during the day, probably. It's fucking cold, so.
Yeah, we were just having that conversation. Too damn cold for me to be going outside right now. I don't do cold at all.
I like cold less and less every year.
Hey.
Oddly enough, what I consider cold gets warmer every year, too.
Yeah. At this point in my life, if it's below 78, I'm freezing.
At this point, I think below about 45 or 50, and I'm starting to consider it cold. When I was a kid, it was more like below 20 or so. Hey, Ape, what's happening, dude?
Well, howdy, Ape.
Evening all.
Did you finish your sandwich?
Yes, I finished both of them.
And you didn't bother to share with us.
That's too damn early for me to eat.
No, I wasn't going to try and share with you because you'd bitch about it by the time it got to you. It would have been cold.
Oh, well.
What kind of sandwich was it?
It was a steak sandwich. Wally World clearance special thin steaks and local grocery store clearance basket marinade mix. Wasn't too bad.
I'll tell you, I've bought several of their thin steaks. They've all been really good.
Yeah. I don't know, if you slice them up into strips and then cut them lengthwise again, they're pretty good on a sandwich or in a tortilla.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good. Damn, you're making me hungry. It's too early for that shit.
Well, Midnight Range TM didn't have a show last night, so somebody has to.
Yeah. Is he okay? I mean, it ain't like him not to do a show.
I don't know, unless there was stuff going on with Little Man again.
Yeah, that last time he missed a couple of shows. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll get up with him sometime today and find out what's going on. I hope he ain't come down with something. Lord knows that Waffle House probably shut down without his help.
Well, you didn't hear they're moving over to an automated system.
Oh, okay.
But they still need someone to put the little cartridges of batter and bacon mix into the robots.
UOG Web's $5, by the way.
For what?
He's got the word robots patented.
I think we just chased off Tony.
Yeah, well, that happens. Actually, he's got a shitty internet connection. So.
Well, hey, just because Tony's old doesn't mean you can make fun of his digestive issues.
Wasn't talking about his digestive issues. I was talking about his internet connection.
Yeah.
Clean
the older you get, the slower your download speeds get.
Lord God. That's just not right, man.
It ain't right, but it sure is funny.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I'm laughing. Oh shit. So you bought any new toys lately?
Oh, I got a peep sight for my 1895. Of course, it's not going to focus on something that's. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Huh.
And once I put that on there, I took it out, shot it about 50 yards, was able to hit my torso plate. Then, if I held really steady, I could hit the little 8-inch pistol plate next to it. But as I was, after I got done cleaning it and putting it away, I flipped the old sight back up, that mid-barrel mount buckhorn sight, and that was not centered. It was off by, well, you know how the buckhorn sights look. They got that little trough in the center that's actually for where the sight is, and then it's kind of that swoop cut out of it. Probably like a third of the way up on the left-hand side of that horn. So, thank you, Rumlin.
Well, the upside to that is with those buckhorn sights, they're easy to adjust. So,
yeah, but since I got this peep sight on it, I don't know. I can't shoot much past 50 yards where I'm at. So, with the 300 grain bullets I had loaded up for just blasting, it seemed to be more or less on.
you know, buckhorn sights and peep sights. Oh, the alarm's going off.
Buckhorn like the old marbles?
No, more like what Marlin has on, or Remlin has on theirs.
Those are marbles.
Okay.
They suck.
I don't know. The front sight is real easy to see once you take that brush hood off of it.
Which Marlin are you talking about?
A Remlin 1895 guide gun.
Has it got the tall ears on the side? They stick up a quarter of an inch or so above the notch?
No, they're not the real big ones. Those are the, I don't know if you call them like real buckhorn or the more buckhorns, because I've got those which are kind of like the real tall ones like that on my 1894 Cowboy Limited.
So I got the 1895 Cowboy, and that's what it's got. I do not like them at all.
Yeah, I finally broke down and bought a set of the Skinner sights. Just go right on top of the receiver. And at 50 yards, I didn't have to replace the front sight, but I don't know. Well, if I get to shooting longer range, I actually bought the kit that came with a replacement front sight. Scott P97, I could have just put a red dot sight on it. I've got one on my 1894 357, but I don't know, it just doesn't look right on a lever gun. And it definitely won't look right on my Ruger number 1. So.
Oh, wait a minute. You said lever. I heard you.
Lever.
No, he said lever.
I say lever, I say lever. I just throw the shit and watch the monkeys dance.
When you're building a house, do you lever things up?
I use leverage to put things back into square.
No. Do you use a level to make things straight?
A level?
I think we've been down. I've heard your, or we've been down this road with Outlaw before. No,
I've been down this freaking road.
Yeah, and you're going to continue to go down that particular road because it is a lever, not a lever.
Bullshit.
Poor children. One of these days.
I wish the
Bam,
hell
zoom,
that
straight to the moon.
the dude that initially designed the thing way back in the early 1800s would have come out with a pronunciation guide.
Wouldn't have done no good.
Yeah, we're Americans. We get our hands on any word, we'll mangle it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, here is a perfect example, and it's firearm related. Okay, the Civil War era conical bullet that was hollow at the bottom, so it expanded and grabbed onto the rifling during firing.
Yeah,
What is
Minet
that
ball.
called? A Minet ball. Now, most people have called it a mini ball, even though it was Minet.
I would have called it a mini ball.
Where's
Pride myself on getting stuff right, except for the R in Warsaw.
Well, true, but you're the only one in this room with an English degree, I believe.
My sister has never washed clothes in her life. She's always washed them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize I said it that way until Ponnery pointed it out just hell a week ago.
Yep.
Which simply goes to prove you're never too old to learn something new. And then promptly forget it.
Exactly. Because if it took me all these years to learn it, it probably wasn't all that important anyway.
Yeah.
Well, at any rate, I'm going to put the well, I can't think what they call it now. The sight Quigley had on his gun.
Oh, those
Back
vernier sights?
Yeah, verniers. As soon as I come up with an extra couple $100 to buy it.
Those things
You're talking like the actual vernier ladder sights, not like the, what is it, the Lyman stem sights that go on the wrist of a rifle.
I'm talking about the one that you screw up for height adjustment and for elevation, and it's also screw adjustable for windage.
Okay, I don't think the Lyman. I think the Lymans are only adjustable for elevation. Lyman. Lyman products.
Did you just say lemon products?
Lyman.
No.
Okay, sights.
Lemon.
You hear a lot of weird shit, don't you?
Look where
okay,
look where I
Jackson.
live. Okay, look where I live.
Yeah, on top of Night Strike's apartment.
Nah.
But you really should let him out of your. You really should let him out from under the bed every once in a while. You really should vacuum.
I can't do that. He eats too much.
Did you just
Or Night
insinuate?
Strike.
Like, yeah.
Gun channels nose.
Yeah, right.
He eats too much. He's hard to feed.
If he eats too much, I don't think it's hard to feed him.
Oh, well, believe me, it's hard to keep him fed.
Well, keeping someone fed and feeding them are two different things.
Yeah, I hand him a cracker a day, and that's just not enough for him.
What have you got against white people? Okay, Tony. So you're not like these. They're like actual.
No, not those.
Hey,
I
Black
want the
Cat.
same one. I want the same one Quigley had on his gun, except appropriate for mine. It's a couple $100. They do make it fit the $18.95, so after Christmas, probably start thinking about that.
Well, Black Cat's out in the chat. I put him a link out there if he wants to jump in, but I'm going to send him one too.
Yep, that's him.
Track the Wolf Flats. Visit.
Those are nice.
Create
Oh.
more sites.
We got some of those Uberti lever guns in at work. Man, I am in love with one of them.
Listen, you goofball, it's lever.
No, you're kind of flighty in your love of guns. It's like every time I get on this chat, it's I found this thing that I'm in love with at work. Or that thing.
I know it's a never-ending love affair with firearms.
He's a slut. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
No. He's only a slut if he transmits rust to every gun he touches. No, you might want to spray some rem oil or ballistol on that.
I'm just happy that it's firearms. He's moved on from sheep and goats. So.
Yeah, you're a funny bitch.
He's a funny pussy.
Well, can't argue with that, honestly. Damn.
Yep, never argue with crazy people.
It don't get you nowhere.
No. Create more sites.
Considerably cheaper than I've seen them bastards anywhere.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see which. So is it just a site and you have to buy a separate base, or? Let's see, 3-inch. Let's go for the big 5-inch.
Yeah, I bet you like the big 5s, don't you?
Hey, you leave my needle dick out of this.
Yeah, say, Outlaw, do you even know what 5 inches looks like?
Hell no.
It's the same diameter as a 50 caliber projectile.
No, that would be 0.5 inches.
No. I have no clue what 5 inches looks like. I'm at 2.5 and holding.
And that's when you're excited.
Exactly.
No, that's when he's cold, when it drops below 80 degrees.
Well, that explains a lot. Wool keeps you warm.
But yes, they got some very nice Uberti rifles in that work that are absolutely gorgeous. They got one that's color case hardened that I would love to purchase.
And how much?
I think that particular one was like $789.
Well, that's pretty friggin' reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, I wish Palmetto did a layaway plan, but they don't. So I won't be buying a whole lot of firearms from Palmetto State Armory.
Yeah, you need to talk to them about that shit. They need to have a layaway plan for, just AR parts. Damn.
Well, see, here's the thing, Black Cat. In all your truck driving adventures, you need to start traveling, over the road. That way, you head down south once in a while. You can stop in one of the stores and pick up everything you need right there.
I was just fixing to get to what the hell does that got to do with layaway at Palmetto State? But I see where you went.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can go to Outlaw's store and make him take every Glock out of the case for you to look at.
Exactly.
I hope you got a lot of time, because we got a lot of rocks.
I usually have to take 10 hours off duty once a day. So there you go.
Well, so hopefully you're sleeping during some of that time.
Oh, sleep is for the weak.
Sleep when you're dead.
Exactly.
Okay, Sam. That's one of my favorite movies, by the way, is Roadhouse.
That phrase came out before that.
Oh, I'm sure, but that's the movie that made it, widely popular.
So I lived that particular lifestyle in 78 and 79 when I was dabbling a little in amphetamines.
Never mess with that sort of thing.
Yeah, drugs are bad, okay?
Drugs
You
are real
should,
bad, okay? Real bad.
you should know, shouldn't you, Black Cat?
What? I've never exhaled.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
I swear.
I see what you did there.
Shouldn't swear it's a bad habit. Where the hell are their bullet mold? Okay, bullet molds.
What the hell are you looking at there?
Oh, that first website that came up for those vernier sites, Track the Wolf, or trackofthewolf.com. Round balls.
I've forgotten all about them.
Well, apparently, I am on the top 25 most popular gun channels based on views. So that means there's a lot of bored people out there, desperately bored people out there.
Back ordered. Well, it's early. It's Monday morning. A lot of people are coming down. So,
Hell, it's a holiday for a lot of people.
oh yeah, it's a banker holiday.
Well, it ain't a holiday for me as of yet.
I thought every day you got to go work at PSA was a holiday.
No, pretty much, yeah. I mean, I get to spend my days talking to people about guns. I love it. But I've made a decision. A lot of people have no clue what the hell they're talking about.
You should
Yeah,
come
most of them are politicians.
Well, yeah.
Holy fuck,
Oh, there's a lot of bullshit in gun shops too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is true. But you know me. I'm not one to say, well, I know this, that, and the other about a gun when I don't know shit about it. So if I don't know something, I'm going to be straight up with you. Hey, look, I have no experience. I don't know shit about this.
Hey, the bullets come out this end going very, very fast.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. You pull this, it comes out there. That's that's the extent.
Wow. So it's kind of like you talking about your love life.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Wait a minute. I have a love life.
Yeah, you pull this, that comes out there.
I wish you'd have told me that I had a love life before now. Damn.
No, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad when she doesn't know you have a love life, but it's extra sad if neither of you realize it. I mean, how does that even work?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, you get to a point in marriage where you don't give a shit if she knows or not.
That's right. It's over quick. That's over quick now. Now my wife don't even have to wake up.
That's what I told my lady. I don't need you awake for this.
We all don't have your problems though, Tony. Our wives don't wake us up at 2:00 in the morning for sex.
Hey, evidently I'm doing something right to keep her around.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's faulting you.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody faulting you, brother. Hell, most of the men I know wish they had that problem.
Yeah, that 2 o'clock in the morning shit gets fucking old.
Would you just let me sleep? Yes, after you're done. 2 or 3 times.
For fuck's sake, can't you wait until 4:30 when I'm gonna get up anyway?
It makes it too easy. You know, women have to be complicated. Speaking of that, I have noticed that since I've worked at Palmetto State Armory, there are a lot of girls dragging their boyfriends to the range.
I'll tell you what,
I think that's great.
I was stunned when I was out at Wanamaker in April how many girls I heard say, I haven't found the gun I want yet.
I must be looking and or living in the wrong place.
I know for sure I heard it 3 or 4 times. And I thought, that's great.
There was this girl and her boyfriend in the shop yesterday, and apparently he'd never owned a gun in his life, and she's got like a ton of them. And
Should
she
ask
was
for a phone number.
and she was explaining to him about this and about that, and I was just listening. I'm going, wow.
Honey, you need to get rid of that fucking condom ad and come get you a real man.
I'll be sure to send her your way there, Tony. But I was like, okay, yeah, that's kind of impressive, you know. It reminds me of that meme that was floating around a while back when it says something about he wants to buy a Glock or something, and the girl in the picture responds with, "I think we should both go see other men." So I was like, "Yep."
Mm-hmm.
So you ain't interested because she knew more about guns than you?
Oh no.
What I'm getting here.
If I found a girl that actually, if I ever ran across a girl throughout my life that, you know, knew more about guns than me, I would probably have married her.
I doubt it because she's probably got some intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, monkey. Nobody asked you.
I ain't a monkey. I'm an ape. There's a difference.
Whatever.
Besides, no one has to ask for my opinion. It's just free.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we want it or not.
Hey, you're the one who put the link out there after I was munching on my sandwich. So
That you didn't even bother, and that you didn't even offer to share with us. See, that's some shit.
You know,
no, that sandwich will be in a couple hours though.
That's okay. That's okay.
after my wife and I had been married for about 10 years, I did the brilliant thing of getting her into shotgun. Trap mostly. And found out that she was a shitload better at it than I was.
Isn't it kind of embarrassing when you figure that one out? Damn it, she outshoots me.
I don't know. It doesn't bother me. It might have at the time, but not now. Back then, she was absolutely fearless too. Recoil was not an issue.
Hmm. So I am thinking that since I do not own a bolt action rifle, that I need to purchase one. And I am leaning toward a Tika.
Why?
Why not?
Get a fucking Howa.
We got one of those at work, and it is beautiful.
The How or the Tika?
Both.
Tika has, they have almost the same trigger that Seika's have that's fat in them.
Yeah.
We have both at work.
I don't know what they are today, but back 25 years ago, Howa was probably one of the best guns for the money I'd ever seen.
Oh, I tell you what, this one's got a very smooth bolt on it. I mean, it's like butter. It weighs a little more than the Ruger American. I'd say maybe a pound and a half. But man, that bolt is smooth. So I'm not counting that out either.
And here I thought you wanted a PPQ.
Oh, I'd love to have PPQ. Not exactly a bolt action rifle though.
Did you see PNS last night? Morning, Tony. They had a couple of the Walther reps on, or guys at Walther.
Nope, missed it. I was tied up in other things.
You gotta quit letting Night Strike do that to you. Have some self-respect, man.
Stop. Lord.
Okay, quit letting the goat do that to you.
I just
Like
want to
I
know
said,
how you work at Walther and don't even mention the P-38.
you know,
That was a long time ago. Everyone was on vacation.
you
God
sound
damn
more.
it, what was that Howa chambered in, for fuck's sake, fourth time?
You sounded more Russian than German there, by the way.
Which is odd since I'm like 1/8 German and 0/8 Russian.
Are you sure you're not 1/1024th Russian?
No, we've pretty definitively come up that it's Norwegian, German, Swede, Dane.
So you're like the ultimate white person.
Yes, I am white person, but I do not think that we are the best race ever made or anything.
It's gonna say you're damn near translucent with that fucking heritage.
Translucent? No, I'm more phosphorescent.
You need to think now that at the end of World War II, the Russians did actually
Produce an AK-47.
inject themselves into a lot of German.
No, this is all pre-war, like late 1800s people coming over here.
Okay, so you are genuine.
No, probably. Just knew that my grandfather was full-blooded Norwegian. Had the stubbornness to prove it.
Yes,
what
sir.
the fuck was that Howa chambered in?
30-06.
About fucking time. That's the fifth time I asked that.
Oh, I've never heard it, but that one.
You've been interrupted a couple times, and we've heard like little half-second clips, but
he should have knew.
Oh, I can read your mind now. Is that what you're saying?
You do not want to outlaw trying to read your mind.
No, that's a dangerous situation to put yourself in.
Yes, you just got up to the letter L.
You gotta understand that Outlaw shut off there for a second. We started throwing words around like translucent and phosphorescent. When Outlaw hears words with more than 2 syllables, his brain just shuts off.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
No, I think his brain shut off when I suggested that he might be into bondage with the goats, and was thinking, I wonder how I can talk them into that.
I didn't know he was Muslim.
Well, throw up a link for him to click on. Trust me, he'll click on it.
It's a trap.
You're in.
That's what Outlaw said with his last girlfriend.
It's a trap. all girlfriends are traps. Period.
He's just missing that joke.
I'm more of an asshole today than normal.
No,
I got
you're
Connery
always.
good one day with
But
that.
you're saying something, you know.
You're always an asshole.
Oh,
It's just.
I got Sean Connery good one day with that. I sent them a picture of Bailey J, who originally was a man. He's like, wow, he's really hot. He's like, how do you know who she is? I'm like, I listen to Jim Norton. He's like, oh. Because he used to have her on the show all the time. I'm like, who the hell is this Bailey J chick? I gotta admit, not bad looking considering used to be a man. Definitely better than Bruce Jenner.
Does it take much to be better than that?
No,
No.
it really doesn't.
Like, look, if you can just get slightly above this level, you're going to be a successful plastic surgeon. Down here, Venezuela is looking for doctors.
You should
Inhale.
buy that. Ellis, that 30-06 is good for about anything you want to do.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, 30-06 is one of the greatest rounds ever created. I mean, and it's got such a wide range of bullet weights that you can go with. It's perfect for North America. Anything you want to kill on this continent, it'll kill it.
Yeah.
I love how Tony keeps bringing it back to guns. We needed him on the old late night chats because, like, when we got on like a transvestite tangent, that would go on for an hour. But I got Tony to ground everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of what I do here on Gun Channels, try to bring it back to fucking guns.
And you fail miserably most of the time.
You ain't shitting.
Well, I know that. That's why I said it.
Yep.
Especially if somebody like Midnight Range TM's around. Then it's all about food for some reason.
Well, it's not just him on the food.
Mostly
Him,
him.
mostly, yeah.
Every time he shows up, somebody's cooking a waffle or some shit.
Bacon.
Yeah, bacon, waffles.
Oh, the big thing now is McRibs because they're back at McDonald's and John Z can't get one.
I think his colon will be thankful for that.
I almost sent Matt a picture of a Glock last night because he would want it.
The Wanamaker Glock?
Yes, you saw that.
Or not the Wanamaker, Wanaburger Glock.
Yeah. I'm like, Matt would want that.
He would want it, but
He's too
only
cheap
if
to
it
buy
was... Yeah.
Matt would probably take the blueprint of it to Taurus and see if they can make it.
Oh, this is a paint job.
Yeah, that's all it is.
He'd probably... I don't know. Would he try to do that on his Star BM?
I can see him trying it. I don't think the slide's fat enough, though.
He could do a variation of just the Wanamaker... Or, what do I keep saying Wanamaker? The Whataburger
Maybe
W
the
on
sides.
each sides. I mean, it's a 1911 style, so it's got those billboard flats on it.
You could get Wanamaker. Now you got me doing it. Whataburger.
Wanamaker
Rips on
Whataburger? Wanamaker Whataburger.
custom set of Whataburger grips.
Good morning, Patrick. How are you, sir?
Patriots out there.
Yep. We've got the whole late night, early morning crew here.
Now, what I want is a 30-06 Mauser.
You and me both.
I would be
Well,
happy with an 8
They
millimeter.
did make them. Oh, I have one of those already.
Well,
Granted,
see,
not
I don't-
the
You're
actual-
talking a vintage or just a 30-06 that's made by Mauser?
30-06 made by Mauser.
I'm talking.
I know they made them.
Custom built.
No, they actually chambered them in 30-06 back in the day.
I know, but that's not what I want. I want one that I take a Mauser action and custom built into a rifle.
Oh, yeah, you can do that too, but that's going to be probably just as expensive, if not more.
There was a guy I met years ago in Chattanooga, and he had a little business, and that's what he did. He did.
Dude.
Yeah. He took Mausers, old Mausers, and started rechambering them into other calibers. And I was talking to him one day. I said, "Well, can you do that with, like an infield or something?" He says, "Well, yeah, I probably could, but it wouldn't last because they're just not built as strongly as those Mauser actions are." Like, well, that makes sense.
That's why most modern actions are based off the Mauser action.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's pretty much bulletproof.
Yeah, I mean, he said he's done custom jobs and they turned Mausers into 300 mags and 30-06s and just whatever.
Oh, yeah, some of those Safari Express guns are made off of Mauser action.
Mm-hmm.
My
Some
local
big
had
bore shit.
my local had one that was already done. Had a custom stock 30-06. It had been rebarreled 30-06 for $400, and I was there to get something else, and I went back to buy the damn thing. It was gone.
I know I come across, it was a couple of years ago, Ian from Forgotten Weapons, Gun Jesus. He has a dead channel somewhere out there on YouTube where it shows him making a 30-06 barrel for a Mauser. He had just finished the barrel and hadn't fitted it to the gun or anything. And he must have decided to just kill that channel off. I was like, son of a bitch, I want to see the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's actually a gunsmith.
He decided, or YouTube decided.
I think it was him, because it was midway through the process and then just no more fucking videos.
I don't know. Could have been a time when Forgotten Weapons really took off and he figured, I can either keep doing this or do something that's at the time would have been a little more profitable.
That's a good possibility.
I'm actually subscribed to his channel, and he's had some very interesting things on there here lately too.
That Safari gun, that custom built one. Holy shit!
That 950 ouch maker or whatever it was.
It was something a Nitro Express Safari gun.
Like I said, he had one on. He had a 950 JDJ before.
Oh, let's see. There was
It was
that.
one of the ones from Rock.
What was that one? It was a double barrel bolt action. Domarigatum Storobato? Oh, great. Now I got that song stuck in my head again. Oh, wow. It's a good song.
Well, don't start singing it, please.
I'm not sure one here.
Did you see the video he put out? I think it was 3, 4, 5 days ago. The Carbiner S. the German SKF. That was a good video. I'd love to have one of those.
Scales.
Of course, they're probably very expensive.
Considering how few are made, yeah.
Okay, it's a folding Glock and a carbine chassis.
I'm amazed at the prices of Russian SKSs now. Holy shit. Almost want to sell my Tola now.
Yeah.
Well, those prices will probably start dropping again once we start trading with Russia again.
Once an embargo goes in place, it usually doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I doubt there's a whole lot of Russian SKSs still left that can come in.
Anything would be 74s.
Yeah.
You can have one. So I may end up buying a 5.56 Arsenal.
That's interesting. Why would you go with a 5.56?
Variety of different ammo.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're limited in Russian calibers to certain weights, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, nothing good on Instagram.
Most of the Russian ammo I've seen, AK ammo anyway, has all been what 123 grain, something like that.
Depends on the brand. I've seen it from 125 to like 123. Depends on if you get a hollow point or not.
Yeah. They got to nip the end off of it.
I've had 120. I've had 122 grain Wolf, I think, before too.
Wait, I got a whole freaking stack of this stuff right here. What do we have here? Yeah, let's get this cord around. Let's see.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what the Milsurp's weight is, but Wolf and Tula seem to be 122 to like 124.
Yeah, I got, let's see, this is Tula ammo, 122 grain full metal jacket. Wolf Polyformance, 123 full metal jacket. Wolf Military Classic, 124 full metal jacket. Herders, 122 grain hollow point. And yeah, it's all tool ammo.
I wish it'd be nice if somebody put out like a 130 grain for hunting.
Oh, PPU makes a round nose soft point.
Yeah.
But it will not feed in an AK. Trust me on this.
It will not feed in my AR either unless you go and do just a single load. Are these those round nose I bought, or are these just regular pointed soft points?
I made that mistake. I got about 100 rounds of PPU round nose.
Yeah, I bought.
Rifle that would actually shoot it. Yeah.
Okay. These are PPU 123 soft points.
Yeah, see, my Ruger American will feed the soft points.
That's why I said yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will be acquiring one of those, so I can shoot that ammo.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm waiting for them to fucking put it out in other than a shit brown stock. Which I would really like to smack that idiot that came up with that idea.
Oh, come on, you wouldn't be so miffed about it if it wasn't the only color they offered it in.
Exactly. That's the only color it's offered in.
Well, all you have to do is
Rattle
Order
cannon?
500 of them, and Ruger will make the stock in whatever color you like.
No, I was
Yeah.
that rattle can one.
Yeah, that's the wonderful thing about Ruger. They're very accommodating. If you got the money to put into it, they'll make anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, I gotta duck out for a little bit and do some work here.
Don't
Later,
lie to
Katie.
us.
Morning, Gunpowder.
Good morning, Gunpowder. Get your ass in here.
Yeah, we can ask her how cold it is up in Michigan.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me post the link up there again so she can jump her ass in here.
What is it here?
I'm probably 120 miles south on the map from where she's at, and it's fucking cold here.
When I woke up, it was 22 at my house.
It's 22 right now. We have wind all day.
Disclaimer: anything below like 50 is cold.
Okay, so then anything below 40 is fucking cold?
Yeah, and you get below 30, and it's starting to get really fucking cold.
Any lower than that, and Tony just doesn't care anymore.
Stupid fucking cold.
Hello, Miss Gunpowder. How are you?
Good morning, y'all.
Morning, Gunpowder.
Are you freezing your ass off yet?
No, it's only 27 degrees. It's not that cold.
No, that's fucking freezing. You can have that shit.
No, freezing is 32 degrees or 0 degrees Celsius for the weird people that live out in the world.
Yeah, I wish some people learned to measure shit in American.
You mean standard? Which
Well,
is kind of everybody in the world uses metrics. We're using, standard, and we call that standard, which is weird to me. But okay.
Get weirded out by a can of frozen orange juice because it says concentrate.
No.
Oh, wait, sorry. That's what gives you migraines.
I can only look at the box for so long, man.
Before thinking, man, this is really cold.
Yep, pretty much.
What you do with that is you take, instead of adding water, you add vodka.
That's a way to do it.
And that's how Outlaw lost his job at PSA.
Yeah, they probably frown if they found a jug of orange juice and vodka in the refrigerator at work. Probably wouldn't go over too well.
Oh, that's why you
Put
just
it in
bring,
Hatfield, what do you have in that jug? A screwdriver? Well, it looks to me like it smells like vodka and orange juice. Yeah, it's screwdrivers.
No.
Oh, that's why you bring apple pie moonshine. And just tell them it's apple cider.
Just put vodka and orange juice in a Sunny D bottle, and
They'll never know the difference.
unless they take a sample for themselves, and you'll find out who's stealing your stuff.
No. Yes, the end for Outlaw came when he started talking fondly about clocks. At that point, Manager Bill knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Deadhorse.
Good morning, Dad.
Dead horse.
Morning, guys.
Isn't it a bit early for a dead horse to be up?
Yeah. Yeah, by about an hour or so, hour and a half.
What are your plans for the day, sir?
Go to work, come home, paint a gun.
Paint a gun.
What the fuck is this painting gun shit?
At 6'5".
Yeah.
And what color are we painting said gun?
White with like black, kind of like tiger stripes.
So, snow
That-
tiger camo.
Yeah, like yeah.
That actually might be pretty damn cool when you're done with it.
Well, I don't have any guns that are white, and I'm tired of being racist with all these black guns.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So
No,
I
no,
figure
no.
it's time to.
If it's black, it can't be racist.
Oh,
only white guns can be racist.
Well, then I need a racist gun. So I need a white gun. So.
A racist race gun?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, wait, that for
I'm
a second I
6'5"
thought you
Ben.
had a.
How do we end up going down these rabbit holes? God.
I don't know. There's snow outside. It's kind of hard to see them.
I got a pink gun here. I wonder if that's racist.
Pink? Yeah. Well, pink's basically white. So yeah. So that's racist.
Well, is it like off pink or bubblegum pink?
It's bubblegum pink, exactly.
Slightly
that-
racist?
If somebody was pointing a pink gun at me about to shoot me, I would just say, hey, look, dude, here, take my gun and shoot me with it. If I'm going to die, I want to die,
This is my 6-year-old granddaughter's gun, you asshole.
Mm. Oh, I thought it was your personal weapon. Okay.
I do not want to know the circumstances that leads up to Tony's 6-year-old grandchild shooting Ellis. I think at that point Ellis just deserves it.
Yeah.
Always got to be the bad
Listen,
guy.
if she's shooting Ellis with a pink gun, he brought it on himself.
Probably.
Well, I gotta jump out. I just got to work.
He probably
I'll be
told her
listening
her gun looked ridiculous, so she shot it.
Do not use that 4-letter word on this chat. God.
Pink?
No. Word.
Work.
Well, you just said it's there, so
Yeah, well.
there. Go put your penny in the swear jar or your quarter.
It's already there.
Just work off, Ellis.
I was
Yeah.
wondering why one side of the trailer was starting to sink. That 55-gallon drum full of pennies
Yeah, exactly.
that Ellis can no longer tip upside down to get his candy money for.
There's all the quarters are at the bottom. So
Well, whatever you do, just don't take a can opener to the bottom in hopes of lifting the top off. It's just going to make one horrible mess.
yeah.
You should let him.
I was thinking about loading it up in a car and driving it to the bank and asking them to sort it for me. Yeah, I'll take these off my hands, thank you. Give it to me in cash.
Yeah, I'd like to exchange these quarters for pennies.
No,
Why?
I'd
So I
like
can
to.
fill up a pool and try and swim in them?
No. But truthfully, you take a barrel full of quarters into a bank and ask them to give you cash for it. You'd probably end up with what, $50?
Out of a 55-gallon barrel,
No, you'd end up with a lot more than that.
you're probably looking at
1,000.
Several thousand.
I'm gonna say 10 to 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It'd be an interesting experiment to see, wouldn't it? I say we
You
do
ain't
that.
got a truck that'll haul it.
I say we attempt that experiment.
Not
Somebody
yourself.
find-
I watched a video where a
Okay,
guy paid
Ellis, you
his.
start dancing for quarters, and we'll start filling up the drum with it.
I am not dancing.
I watched a video where a guy paid his like $350 traffic ticket, all with pennies, and it took about a wheelbarrow size of pennies. So just a wheelbarrow full of pennies was $350, but that was his pennies. All right, so that's not even as big as a 55-gallon drum, and that was $350, like just in pennies. So that's So if that was like quarters, man, yeah, that'd be. A quarter is really not that much bigger than a penny as far as room goes. So yeah, it'd have to be quite a bit of money.
Okay. Turns out that $10 in quarters weighs half a pound. So let's say that 55-gallon drum, let's just say $10,000. That'd be 10,000. That'd be 10,000 pounds.
5,000.
Now, Tony, he's a monkey doing math. Leave him alone.
$10 weighs half a pound.
Oh yeah, half a pound. Okay, yeah.
A 55-gallon drum full of water weighs 450 pounds. So
Yeah, I think was it you, Tony, a year or so ago, got into a debate over how much water would weigh or something like that. Oh, G was
water weighs 8 pounds a gallon.
It's like 7.7 some.
Yeah,
No, G was thinking of making water tank to be on the top of the van out of PVC pipe. We were trying to figure out how much or how many gallons certain diameters of pipe would hold.
There's a mathematical equation for that. So you take the volume times it'd be like what? The volume squared.
Well, no, you just take because the volume of a cylinder is at pi r squared times the length. And that should give you cubic inches, and you just convert cubic inches into gallons.
Oh yeah, you need cubic, not square inches, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why you take it times the length.
Yeah.
So it would be pi r squared times length.
Just too much fucking thinking for gun channels this early.
Yeah, exactly. Lord. Welcome to Math Chat.
Can any of you guys beat 22 degrees right now?
I'm at 20. We talking the angle or ambient air temperature?
Ambient air temperature, 22 degrees right now. The real fill with the wind is 17, but the temp's 22. So
let's see what my cellular telephone says. Bullshit. No,
it's 34 with the wind chill of 28.
For my area, it is 19 and cloudy with the real feel of 5 degrees above zero.
Fuck that.
I'd rather not. I mean, don't think you get any sensation trying to do anything or trying to fuck anything that cold.
That would be a whole new definition of blue balls right there.
No, I think they just retract right up in. However, we're going to have a little heat wave. Wednesday, a high of 44. Thursday, a high of 47. And Friday, a high of 31. Saturday, a high of 20.
To Gunpowder Beauty there, I want to apologize on behalf of Gun Channels for where these assholes have taken this.
Hey,
I'm sorry, what?
Never mind. Just go back to having your breakfast.
She should be used to that by now.
It's moving day, so I'm cleaning, but I have a dog upstairs barking, so I heard apologize, Gun Channels, Gunpowder.
Yeah,
I just found my dream car. Holy shit. 1985 AMC Eagle. 81,000 original miles. Dude.
Now there is a car that was way ahead of its time.
Fuck yeah. Dude, they make a kit. You transplant a 350 into that, and dude, yep.
AMC Eagle. I need to look at this thing.
Yeah, other than a Subaru Brat, that's probably like the car I'd most want. Like it's like a 4-wheel drive station wagon. Like imagine like a Woody station wagon, but that's like 4-wheel drive, and you know that's actually got some ground clearance. There's people who've lifted them and stuff. I want it, but it has enough ground.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page.
It was like the first real kind of like, oh, this is like an off-road wagon sedan. It was like the first SUV, dude. It really was. It was like the first.
Assembled in the United States in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
It had a shift on the fly dashboard like thing, like a push button shifter, dude. Like
Yeah, it utilized the same kind of stuff that Jeep did.
yeah. Yo.
And you know, back in the day, I'm thinking that's all right, but I can't. Thing shows you how off my friggin' crystal ball would have been.
The only car I'd rather have than that's the Subaru Brat.
Man, that 2-door sedan version just looks weird.
No, yeah, I want the 4-door wagon is what it's all about.
No, it
Dude,
just
that's
looks
like
like a
a-
regular car with truck tires on it.
Dude, that's like, yeah, it's like the perfect hunting vehicle, dude. It's like, oh, low center of gravity, just plenty of ground clearance, lots of room for your buddies and equipment, and throw a deer on top, and yeah. It's like, or if you like accidentally hit Bigfoot while driving, you tie him to the top of it. Like, yeah.
Hey, do not hit Harry. Pro Rally Series. Legacy. The AMC Eagle was arguably a decade ahead of its time. It was a passenger car that pioneered the crossover SUV market. 5-speed manual.
They had one that had push button, like on the dashboard. So like you would just push a button, like, and now you're in drive. Or like, oh, you want 4-wheel drive? You just pushed a button. Like there was no lockers or anything. You know, like boom.
Hell, Dodge started that push button shit back in the 50s.
Yeah. Well, the Hydromatic, right?
Hell, I don't remember. I
I
just
think that's what
remember
it was called, was the Hydromatic. But that was only a 2-speed. It basically had low and high.
and then you had to be a man to ship the son of a bitch. Or if you're a woman, you had to use your spiked heel.
I used to have a Volkswagen Bug that was a push-o-matic thing, so it didn't have a clutch, but it was still a stick. So every time that you'd go to shift, you'd push down on the shifter, and that's what engaged the clutch. And then you just put it in second, and you could start out in second, like unless you were on a hill, right? So you would just start out in second, go from second, third, fourth, but there was no clutch pedal. You would just push down on the shifter, and that engaged the clutch.
I had one of those, but it was a 3-speed, not a 4-speed.
Maybe it was a 3-speed. It's been so long.
I just bought the damn thing for the engine. I don't know if the transmission was any good, but it was 3-speed. I made me a Baja out of a 68 or 69 Beetle and blew the motor in about an hour. One of my favorite cars ever built was a Volkswagen Beetle. They were so damned easy to work on, everything but the brake lines.
Yeah, I think we should go back to horse and buggy. Life was easier then.
obviously you ain't been
Do
working
you know how long it would take me to get to Texas if I had a horse and buggy?
3 days with the
About a
horse.
month.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Probably a little longer than that, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
We made it across the friggin' country in 10. Of course, there's relays where they swapped horses a couple times a day, but still.
Yeah, but you're talking about going on a gallop. I'm talking about, with a horse and buggy, stagecoach. It'd take you a little while.
Yeah, it may take longer than 3 days. It'll take freaking stage.
No, it'll take
Any
3.
trips I gotta stop so I can water and feed the kids and stop for potty breaks. You imagine how many stops I'm gonna have to take to water the horses? Sheesh.
Well, think about it. You can do some traveling, some camping, just all in one little trip,
Mm-hmm.
and take half your house with you as you go.
All right, Ellis, here we go. Do you want to be sitting out on that stagecoach's driver's seat when it's 20 fucking degrees?
No, because I'm smart enough to travel in the summer.
You want to be sitting on that some bitch when it's 120?
That's fine.
Something wrong with you.
Yeah, he's been sitting outside on a board when it's 120 degrees out.
I can deal with the heat a whole hell of a lot better than I can the cold.
Don't get me wrong. If the oil supply runs out and cars become useless, I will go to a horse. I don't got no problem with that. But I won't be traveling a hell of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we could safely say that you wouldn't make it to Watermaker.
Hell no, because it's been record fucking cold every time I've looked at that damn show. Not joking a bit. I don't know about this fall. It's cold, but I don't know if it's record or not. But when we was there in April, it was record-breaking cold and snow. You find out in Oklahoma how quickly nobody knows how to fucking drive when it's slick.
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not, every freaking overpass that we went from the hotel to the gun show had a wrecked car on it.
Wow.
I'm in a four-wheel drive Suburban, so I don't give a shit. Slick ain't a big deal to something that weighs 7,500 pounds.
Yeah, it's just stopping.
Fucking
Or
don't
going
stop.
So we got this hill here. It's like a main street, right? And it's just a slight hill, not very steep, but it's super fucking long, right? They're like miles and miles long, and there's plenty of red lights and stuff, right? So every time it snows and it just turns to like a sheet of ice, I've seen so many 4-wheel drive trucks and SUVs and stuff like going backwards on this hill, like stopping at a light and then trying to get going again, and then they just start sliding backwards, and like a little front wheel drive cars just right up it.
Well, I'll tell you, I have on my Suburban, I have General Grabber tires, and they're not aggressive mud treads at all. They're all season radial tires. And this son of a bitch, if it would ever snow and get slick, does really good. That's not worth the shit in mud, but I don't go mud because I don't like to wash it. Not to mention the fact that it's all light gray interior, and I can just see where that would go if you got all muddy trying to get yourself unstuck and had to climb back in it.
I can never understand why anyone would want to make the interior of a vehicle white.
The light gray is bad. I can't imagine a white one.
Hmm.
Although my 72 Charger RT was white inside, but it was white vinyl or leather or whatever the fuck it was. Probably vinyl, knowing Chrysler.
Leather.
I think it had cloth inserts in the middle of the seats, but I'm trying to remember now. It's been a long damn time. Yeah, they were not completely 100% vinyl.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like with kind of some of the nicer cars is everything is the leather seats. Because during the summer, they're hot as hell. In the winter, they just seem to have the power just to suck all the heat from you until they actually get up to body temperature.
Yeah, I don't like leather or vinyl. I'd rather have cloth interior, cloth seats anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they got those heated seats inside cars.
They're nice.
Oh yes, they are.
Well, hey, my boss's dad, his doctor told him that you shouldn't be buying these leather seat vehicles because they really are aggravating your hemorrhoids, and they will give you hemorrhoids. I never heard that shit before, but okay.
Hmm.
Well, there's a simple solution to that problem. Just cover your leather seat with a cloth cover, and that solves the problem.
Or put pants on when you drive.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I don't know where the doc was going with that shit. I don't know that it was ever questioned, but it's just one of the things that I heard. I don't like the feel of them when I'm driving.
It was at that point that Johnny realized this man had gone through 8 years of medical school, 5 years of residency, and yet he was still a moron.
Sounds a lot like you.
No, I went to 2 years of VOTEC and ended up getting 75 cents an hour more.
Oh well. We all have goals.
Mm-hmm. Is this all nickel brass?
I went to college for computer programming language, and they told me, you really are to major in English.
And then you said washer.
They said, but if you do, you need to find a different college because we don't offer an English class high enough for what you scored on your test. Okay? I don't like kids, so I don't want to teach English. So there's no other point.
Well, you liked your own kids pretty well.
My own
I'm just
kids
the
were
opposite.
smart.
What was that?
My own kids knew at times they could fuck with dad and times they better not.
We can do this.
Oh Lord.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a dad, every time you start taking off your belt, your kids should run. If they don't, then you're not doing a good enough job parenting.
See, my dad died when I was very young. It was when my mother started grabbing pots and pans that I started worrying.
Yeah, or wood spoons or something. Yeah, if your mom goes to the cupboard drawer and starts pulling out a big ass spoon, yeah, your ass better run.
And you know what I hated worse than anything else was when Mom got that look in her eye and she said, "Go get me a switch," and I was like,
Dude, you got to play that one smart because you bring in a log about 3 inches in diameter and she just melts right there.
No, Mama, you have to remember. You have to remember, my mom was the lady that hit me in the back of the head with a frying pan. I don't think that log would have stopped her.
She probably
John
went,
Wayne
bonus. I get to beat up Andy and
John
Fireball.
Wayne said the problem with kids in America these days, and this was back in the 70s, is pulled through 7 Wrangler belt loops.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mine knew it. Although it's probably 6 Rustler belt loops back then because I couldn't afford Wranglers. Because I had 4 kids.
Well, you know what? Rustlers made a good pair of jeans, so.
Yes, they did.
And I still wear some today, so if that tells you anything.
I do too. I buy them if I can find them, but I did switch to Levi's even though they're freaking horrible gun company.
Maybe buy Dickies. Although I think these are, what are these? Rigs. I did not buy them at the store. It's my pants I get her from rummage sales.
Hell, I got a pair of Rustlers on right now.
I've got sweatpants on right now.
Oh, dear God. We don't even need that fucking image.
Sweatpants, t-shirt. That's it.
Oh, I just threw up in my mouth.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
No, because now I have to go into the upstairs into the bathroom and find a way to get bleach into my head.
Just pour it in through your eye sockets. It'll be fine.
Nope. Workwear for people with clean hands? No, Vandalistica. All right, yes,
What?
I have clean hands, but you can also see where the rubber gloves don't cover my forearms.
I just learned that Obama wasn't able to knock his wife up.
Oh, so somebody had to do it for him?
They say it was in vitro, but I'm thinking it was somebody doing a cover.
Now, I'm thinking that Michelle Obama's actually Michael Obama, but you know.
No, it'd be a Michelle Obama.
There's several photos out there. There's a bulge in places where a woman shouldn't have a bulge.
How do you know she just doesn't have a puffy vagina?
Why the fuck did Democrats get the feeling that we give a fuck one thing they say after they get out of office?
Because they need attention.
Look at Bush, man. That motherfucker disappeared. Like
Yep.
good president did when his time's up.
Aren't we sure that his parents just said, "Okay, George Jr., just yes, we left your room as you left it. Just it's okay."
I don't care. Senior didn't get out there and say shit either. He's like, fuck you, I'm out of here.
Like later, assholes.
Could you imagine Tony as president of the United States?
First thing, I would declare martial law on stupidity.
Okay, you got my vote.
Secondly, would be you're not protected in the press for lying.
Now hold on, outlaw. He said martial law on stupidity. We have to ask the question, Mr. President, is it stupid to call a lever a lever?
That's not the kind of stupid I was looking for, but it will depend on my mood on any given day whether I consider that stupidity or not. You know, guys like Ellis, you have to, you know, kind of measure with the curved line.
Thank you, Tony.
Does it have to be a constant curve, or can it kind of helix back and forth?
I'm thinking one of your best driving roads out in the middle of nowhere curve.
Tail
Pretty
of the
much
dragon
set
kind of thing.
Set the cruise control and take a nap. 10 minutes later, you're still on the road.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the ones that have the recommended speed limits of 25 miles an hour, and it's a 90-degree curve every half mile.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, we're going to make a left turn. Oh, now we're going to make a right turn. Oh, left turn, right turn, 360. No, Bob, that there is cool.
We just come up under that road we just went over. Shit.
You sure? Because the brown house with the white cows is on the left side, and it was on your side when we went by the first time. No, Ed, I believe that's called a roundabout.
Oh, Lord. I love being the butt end of jokes on my own damn show. Thanks, guys.
Oh, you're the one that walks around with the fucking Target lever. Ha!
Hey, it is what it is. And it is a lever.
Clever.
Lever.
You know, I'm about to bust out my pop stick. It is a lever, not a lever.
Thank
It
you.
is a lever.
Out of that.
No, lever is a bar of soap.
Lever is what you do when you catch your significant other in bed with your father.
Or your best friend.
That's disgusting.
It happens.
It's still disgusting.
You do not go to the hardware store and buy a label to plumb up your house when you're building. I rest my fucking case.
Level. Sounds like those little wobbly egg-shaped people. Or those weebles. Weebles.
Weebles wobbles, but they don't fall down.
And those
No, I
things.
didn't.
He said, you just asked him to.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's in hot water.
Sounds like somebody's in trouble.
Well, I'm sure someone heard the word pop stick.
See there, gunpowder, you done scared somebody again.
So it brings out the question, which is worse from gunpowder? A whack with a pop stick or a throat punch?
I don't want either.
Depends on who it is.
Well, we were asking which is worse, the pop stick or the throat punch.
If it's an adult, it's probably going to be a throat punch because some adults like the pop stick, and that totally defeats the purpose of getting a pop stick. With my kids, I can't throat punch them. CPS would be called. But I can bust out a pop stick a lot.
Well, if you hold a magazine or something up to their throat, then hit it, you can get by with it because you don't leave no knuckle prints.
Man, I really like the way you think. That is a great idea.
Well, you know, if all you're doing is they're just running around out of control, if you just put your arm out at about, say, throat level and they run into it, hey, I was stretching. I don't know what happened.
Allegedly, that has happened before.
Allegedly. Theoretically.
Yes.
It can't be proven in court, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Not until the statute of limitations run out.
Exactly. I'm glad y'all are all on the same page.
Hey, we got your back.
No,
that explains what happened.
I had to get out the free card for a throat punch.
And that explains what's happened to Tardot many times over.
You know, as I was raising my 4 daughters, only one time did I ever put my hand on one of them's throat, and that was my number 2. I grabbed her by the throat, and I was saying, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" Because she's fixing to throw a chair at my oldest. I'm like, no, we can't be doing that shit.
Some women like the hands around the throats, allegedly.
Hey, whatever you and Tardot do in the privacy of your own bedroom is not need to be known.
Hey, my old lady would go there now and again.
Yeah.
I can't remember who we were talking to, but they sat there and they're like, man, just choke them out. And I just started giggling because I'm like, that's not really punishment. I'm sorry. And then they just kind of gave me a weird look, and I'm like, haven't y'all ever read the books or seen the movie 50 Shades of Grey? Like, they do way worse shit than I've ever done. So, yeah, people are into that kind of stuff.
I do not want to know what you and Tardot do in the bedroom. Thank you very much.
Well, I can
I
tell you,
just said that. You owe me a quarter.
That's why people have hooks hanging from their ceilings, and, whips, chains, and handcuffs isn't just a lyric in a song. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other stuff, but I'm just smiling, laughing because this is just a whole lot of bullshit. But yeah, I can make it real weird.
I can tell
It
you
just won't
that
be true.
I can tell you that me and the old lady being married for nearly 38 years, uh, anything either one of us could think of, we tried.
And again, we did not need to know that.
That's awesome, though. That is a good marriage right
Mhm.
there.
Well, it's worked out well for me. That whole four daughters thing was a crock of bullshit, though.
Yeah, well, God had other plans for you.
Well, you had a 50-50 chance each time, and every time it wasn't the 50 you wanted.
Only thing I could think of that was worse than having four daughters was having five.
Yeah.
I don't know. Two sons is pretty bad because I sit there and think about all the crap that I put boys through in high school, and I'm like, this is God punishing me right here.
Well, mine I raised just like they were boys. I mean, anything that I did that they were interested in, I let them do. Uh, and I also taught them that your family, you defend your sisters over everybody. And that did involve the police a few times. Because my eldest took that shit seriously.
Gets him to do that.
They called me to school because she beat the shit out of some other girl who was making fun of the youngest. And I get in there and they said, we got to do something about this. She's violent. I'm like, she's doing what I taught her to do. Why would I do anything? And they've never called me back.
Teach your daughters to defend themselves, ladies and gentlemen.
Not only that, I teach them to defend
Pretty
their
much.
And in fact, I think what we need to do is send them to the School of Gunpowder Beauty.
Yeah, I will totally be a teacher at a school and teach your daughters that if boys are gonna hit you or smack your butt or pop your bra, you knock them the hell out. And if girls are gonna sit there and push you into lockers, you hit them with the thickest textbook you have into a locker, or you use your backpack and then you throat punch that bitch. I might have been bullied in school. I got a little aggression.
I was going to say, you seemed a little more passionate than most people are this early in the morning.
She's just got a lot on her plate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once my eldest beat the shit out of that chick in school, nobody would fuck with any of them. People were genuinely afraid of her just because she was, I don't know, she would get out of control angry, they said, but I've never seen it.
what's out of control to some people, might be very controlled to another.
I know that my wife got hauled to the cop shop because neighborhood boy that got his ass handed to him by my eldest was embarrassed and said that my wife did it. Better you than me, because they'd have me in fucking jail.
I don't know. I'd be embarrassed to say some kid's mom whooped my ass. That would not go over well, I don't think. Especially with the other kids. You let her whoop you? The fuck?
This kid disappeared for about a month. I think he was afraid the eldest was going to get back at him for having mom hauled in by the cops.
Hmm?
Or he was embarrassed to go to school with freaking lips swelled up, black eye, and shit like that. She beat shit out of him, and I'm not sure why.
You didn't bother to ask?
Well, no, not after the whole fiasco of them hauling her mother in. I'm like, this little motherfucker deserved it.
Mm-hmm. I honestly, I can't fault your reasoning there. Yep, you little bastard, you got what you asked for.
I was actually really lucky with my kids. They were all pretty girls. They were all really heavily into running, I mean, long distance running. Uh, and they didn't really give me much trouble. Very little, in fact, compared to what I've seen from others.
Yeah, my ideal running is from, the room I'm in to the kitchen to get food and back. Any further than that is just a waste of time.
I ain't a runner either. I hated it. But my wife was. My number three's got records in this school. Well, hell, all the kids are part of the records at this school, but she's got records here and she's got records at the college she went to that won't ever be broke. And that's the only damn reason she went to that college, break them damn records. Once she was done with that, she was done with college.
Just did it so she could do it, huh?
I'm not sure what her thinking was. But yeah, once she broke the record, she wasn't really interested in going any further. She decided to drop out and get married. And that's fine by me. I mean, my job is to provide her the opportunity, not make her go. She's an adult. She was. And the guy she married, I like. Although I did tell him, if you hurt my daughter, I'll fucking kill you.
Well, that's just being dad.
Yeah, I pretty much said that to all of them.
Well, like I said, that's just being dad. Can't fault you for that one either.
It got quiet.
Well, that's because you wasn't here.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we had movers. Well, I mean, the movers are still here, but we were trying to get them figuring out what they needed to pack up, load up, and move out.
Take the heavy shit first.
Us?
This is our last day in the house, so the movers are here to pick up all the really big stuff, like the gun safe that none of us were really looking forward to moving because it's like 500 pounds emptied. So, yeah, that's pretty much on our to-do list today is get the last bit of crap out to the new house.
I need to buy me a gun safe, but I can't find one I can afford that'll hold 30 guns.
You and me both.
You have 30 guns, gunpowder?
Eventually I will. Why not
wow.
buy the safe first? That way it gives me motivation to fill it.
Oh, yeah. See, that's a good way of thinking right there. I love that.
Somehow I doubt you need any motivational incentive to buy more guns.
No, but it'll be a visual motivation for Tardot. He'll look at it every time he opens it, and he's like, man, this thing is so empty. And then I can sit there and be like, well, babe, you know what the solution is? We should totally fill it up. Let's buy a new gun.
Well, you haven't gotten me that 50 GI yet.
See?
I can sell you a 338 Lapua
And some Glocks.
and some Glocks.
I'm not against buying some Glocks because one of them I want to turn into the Wonder Woman gun, so it'd be all right.
Not the Whataburger gun.
Fantastic.
Hey, I like the Whataburger gun too.
Well, I do have
Just
somewhere in the vicinity of 30 or so. Shh, don't tell the old lady that because she has no idea.
My story is I have one gun.
yeah, there's a guy at work who keeps saying that too. I don't believe him.
She's asked me 3 times how many guns I have, and I've never answered the question.
That is probably wise.
I came home from a gun show once. I was showing my wife the gun that she bought me for Christmas because she gave me money to get one for Christmas. And then I showed her 2 or 3 of the other ones I bought. Her reply was, how many fucking handguns do you own? I said, I don't know. And she just looked at me kind of funny. I'm like, well, you want me to go take inventory or what? I don't fucking know.
The correct answer is whenever your wife asks how many guns you have, you say, not as many as I used to. I had to sell a couple for that last thing I bought you. Insert whatever the last thing was, right?
Well, I can tell you that just here on my desk, there's 7 handguns laying.
Well, I've got 2 within arm's reach right now, and if I walk across the room, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more.
If I go within arm's reach, then that number goes up to about 16.
I can honestly say that there are no guns in this house today, and I'm sad.
I'm at work, so it's against company policy for me to have a gun on me. So you know I wouldn't have any guns at all on me, ever.
I don't
No,
believe you.
because you're a good employee and you follow the rules, of course.
Yep.
You got it.
I am equipped with 2 arms for throat punches, so I figure that makes up for my husband taking our gun safe to the new house.
I bet your husband's got a gun on him, though, don't he? Several of them.
Within arm's reach of me, there's 22 guns that I can get to without getting out of this chair.
I'm a little jealous right
Okay,
now.
but how many are loaded out of those 22?
Hang on, I'll have to count.
Well, I
See,
can
that's
tell
the
you.
thing. If a gun's not loaded, I don't even count it as a gun. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a fucking piece of metal for, unless it's loaded. Once
Paperweight.
it's loaded, then it's a gun. Yep.
6 or 7 of them are loaded.
I've got 8 of them loaded, but I only own 8 guns, so.
Oh, wait a minute. 629's loaded too, so that would be 7 or 8.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good number.
I've got 8 guns loaded, but I only own 8 guns. How am I doing?
Pretty
That's
good. Better than me.
Well, there ain't a hell of a lot of sense for me to load a 4570 sitting here, or 44 Magnum, or every 22. Oh, wait a minute, that's 9.
What if a bear tries breaking into your house?
There's a 44 Magnum laying right here.
What if I don't know. There's no elephants here, but you know, there could be something bigger than a bear, maybe.
There ain't nothing in this part of the country that 44 Magnum won't kill.
All right, I gotta get my ass back to packing.
I think all mine were loaded when they fell off that boat, but I'm not sure.
Are you still having more boat accidents? You got to quit that, dude.
No, I lost all my guns in the last boating accident. I haven't been able to restock.
I need to have a boating accident. Apparently, I'm the only. I feel left out.
I want like Alan Anchor to make me up some custom stickers for my safe that says like, warning, this safe contains like lots of like black powder and, you know, smokeless powder and stuff. Like any attempts to break in or like to the safe, fuck, thing's gonna blow up, something like that, right? As a deterrent. You know, some people see some big warning on a safe saying, hey, if you try and cut into this fucker, like you're gonna blow up. That might make them be like, I'm not gonna cut into this fucker.
You're assuming that these idiots can read.
And
well, that's why you put it all in Spanish, you know, peligro, peligro. Like
you're also assuming that they're sober enough to understand what they're reading.
You need automated guns.
Put it in squiggly lines. They'll understand it. You always read better when you're drunk in squiggly lines.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of they're screwed up on some kind of self-medication.
Oh, like bath salts or something?
Oh, yeah.
I would suggest picture form, but I just put together a printer that the directions were all pictorial, and man, I couldn't figure that shit out. What the fuck is this? And then I find out they had really good directions on the little USB stick that came with the damn thing. I just had plugged in and look. After I got done putting it together, I found this out, mind you.
My wife made the mistake of telling me that she was wanting to go buy a new computer desk. So I said, sure, go ahead. You know, she called me and asked me if she could buy it, and I said, yeah. So I'm at work. I get home that night, and there's this huge box sitting in the middle of the floor. And I looked at her and said, I thought you said you was buying a desk. She said, I did. I said, where's the desk? She said, it's in that box.
Big IKEA box.
And she said, you can put it together. And I was like, okay. And I knew how this was going to work before I even started. So I take everything out of the box, and I've got it sitting there. And I'm one of these people that cannot stand to do a fucking puzzle. I hate puzzles. It's just no. And 3.5 hours, I sat there and tried to figure that sumbitch out and could not do it. Looking at the instructions, still couldn't figure it out. Finally, I just got pissed off and started snapping fucking pieces. What are you doing? I paid $120 for that desk. I said, well, next time you'll know to buy one that's already put the fuck together. But those were more expensive. I don't give a fuck. I would rather you pay $300 for a desk that I can just put in the house, put it where I want it, leave it the fuck alone, and have to stand here for 3 hours and fuck with it. It's a lot less expensive.
My daughter come out of her garage with this cardboard box filled with 3D printer parts. Sticks it in the back seat of my Suburban and says, "Dad, put that together for me." I'm like, "Beth, I ain't even ever seen one of these fucking things before."
Nope. Nope.
I killed probably 2.5 or 3 hours figuring out how to put that bastard together.
It's a really simple situation, and this is what I tell everybody. I'm really good at destroying shit. I'm not very good at building it.
Well, as far as mechanical stuff, I enjoy the figuring shit out like that. I don't know.
Everything I put together is I never read the instructions at all until I get stuck, until I hit like a bypass. Then I'm like, fuck, like I can't figure it out now. Then that's when I go to the instructions. But it's like a challenge. It's like a rite of passage, right? Like, so that's the way I look at it. So everything I try and do, no instructions needed. You know, like that's that's the way you got to think of it.
I'll tell you, my boss bought a forklift to get the mast off of it to make a 3-point mast for a tractor. And the motor was completely disassembled, but we got it back to the shop and it looked to me like everything was there. And I said, I think I can put this thing back together. I don't know if the block's good or not, but hell, it's worth a shot. And he said, well, buy the gaskets and stuff you need and go for it. And I put somebody's back together, and he had paid $100 for it, and we sold it for $1,500. It started up and ran fine. It smoked like a bitch, but it ran.
I will not do anything that is prefab. Just go ahead, buy the shit, put together. I don't care how much more it costs. Just to me, it's worth it not to have to deal with a fucking hassle.
We bought a couple of bench kits from Menards, the workbench kits that are made out of 2x6s, 2x4s, and whatever the hell they all come with. And I said, well, shit, we don't need to buy any more of these. Just buy some lumber and, I'll make them. And I made 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And it's easier to make them than it is to put them together from the freaking kit. And make them out of lumber. You just tack shit together and then cut it off to match when you get done.
Yeah, she never made that mistake twice.
Well, shit, if you buy stuff at Walmart, they put it together for you.
Yeah, exactly. And still that cheap particle board shit ain't worth a damn.
That's what I'm sitting at. One of them got aluminum square tube frames or plastic or gas metal of some sort. 1-inch square frame, particle board top, and shelf behind it, I guess. Whatever the hell I got my fucking monitor sitting on. I don't even remember where the hell I got it. But I bought the TV stand that matches it for the house, and I put that together, and that was a bitch.
And have you noticed them weird little slot locks that they use to put these things together? I hate them motherfuckers because I can never get them to work right.
All you gotta do is just put them in the right way and turn them a quarter turn. They're locked.
Yeah, well.
Fucking monkey can figure that out.
Hey, leave Fine Ape out of this. But, no, I ain't got the patience for shit. No.
No, I've done a bunch of that shit over the course, but I just assume not. We go up to the antique mall and buy used stuff.
There you go. That's the best way to do it. Right there. Already put together, put it back in the damn truck, bring it home.
I almost bought a pie safe that was coming apart. You know, the glue had dried out over the 100 years it's existed. And my wife saying, "Do you think you could fix that?" And I'm like, "Yeah. If I was left alone long enough, I could take it apart and put it back together." But they wanted $100 for it. It ain't worth $100. Right now, it's just a fucking pile of lumber, basically. So if they get it down to like $50, buy it, and I'll redo it.
Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been going about 2 hours. I think I'm going to cut this one off.
Why?
Well, because I need to take a shower. I need to get some food in me.
Nobody gives a shit.
Well, I give a shit.
I will vote I do
Mind your
not want to
business,
see
Alex.
Ellis in the shower.
No.
I've
Point
still
is,
got an hour of packing. Come on, take one for the team.
Well, I
You
will
can
tell
go
you
take-
what I will do. Yeah, I will leave this sumbitch up, and y'all can have a go at it.
there
But
you go.
I'm taking off.
All right, if you get a strike against your channel or lose subscribers, it's not my fault. No matter what Black Cat says.
Well, I'm leaving Potatoes in charge. He's good at that. Wait a minute.
Hey, Spuds,
Yeah.
I didn't see you come in.
I'll have you know that I've never had a strike.
Exactly. That's why I'm leaving you in charge.
So what movie are we going to stream?
Debbie Does Dallas.
Striptease.
Well, Debbie Does Dallas is a classic, so yeah, y'all can go ahead with that one.
I would have said Deep Toe, but that's too fucking stupid to watch.
I watched that movie when I guess I was, 15? Good Lord. Many years ago.
I watched it at we used to have a theater here in town, and when it couldn't support itself as a regular theater, somebody bought it out and made it a private porn club theater. I watched it there one time. I'm like, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I guess I was about the same age the first time I seen Debbie Does Dallas.
I seen Debbie Does Dallas in a drive-in down in Missouri. I was probably 13 or 14 then. I don't know. I didn't think too much of it one way or the other.
Yeah, I went to a friend's house and she had a VCR and that was what was playing.
I think my favorite movie of going to the drive-in and seeing was Making County Line. And just because the beginning of it, I was sitting there with a girl that I was kind of seeing, and they're on screen, and this dude and this girl are getting on. He's telling her to bark like a dog. And this girl that I was with said, "Why would he do that?"
I'm
like, I'm not going to even attempt to explain that one to you.
That's why Ellis's girlfriends get confused when he asks them to put on a wool sweater all the time.
You're a funny bitch. Anyway, guys, I will talk to y'all later. Y'all take care.
Later, Hatfield and Fanny. I have fond memories of that old drive-in. It's now a junkyard.
There's only one drive-in open in the whole county I live in DA now. There used to be a bunch of them when I was a kid.
Hell, there ain't any probably within 40 or 50 miles of me. I think the one in Springfield's still open, but I'm not sure.
There's one open about probably 20 miles away we go to every once in a while. There's only one I know of within probably 50 miles, too.
Me and the old lady used to go a lot when we were dating. She'd always invite cousins or nieces and nephews to go, and I'm like, I don't want them kids with us. I ain't going to watch this damn movie. The most memorable movie I ever went and seen at a drive-in was Tron.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that in years.
That movie was incredible at drive-in.
At the time, that was real high-tech. I think that was some of the very first computer graphics ever.
And when we went, we got up in fairly near the front of the drive-in because the place was packed. And it turns out that was a great spot to be because it really was awe-inspiring to be that close.
We used to go, the one near us at carload night, where you pay one price for the whole car. We used to take my pickup truck and pile everybody in the back of it. So we could all go to the movies for like $5 or something, whatever it was for carloads. So everybody'd be sitting on coolers of beer in the back of my pickup truck going in.
Yeah, they did that here too. I don't remember. I think it was like $10 carload.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I'd say $10.
Bargain. Hell, even if there's only 3 of us in the car, that's still cheap to see a movie.
Yeah, well, go to the movies with my wife. Me and my wife take my kid to go to the movies now. Shit, that's $50 because to see a movie and get popcorn.
Oh yeah, popcorn was. And hell, we used to go back when I was going to that drive-in. Hell, that would have been middle 7, and my mom would give me $5 to get in the drive-in and get something to eat. And of course, my best friend lived next door, and he got to walk into that thing for nothing, so we never had to pay to get in. And I think it would cost us $2 or $3 or $4 to eat. And I mean, they had hamburgers and French fries and all that shit there. God, I think that's what we did most of the whole damn summer, was just treat it like it was a little, drive-in restaurant type of thing.
Yeah, they always sold hamburgers, hot dogs, and French fries and shit. The ones near me, they're always pretty cheap too.
Yeah, popcorn was ridiculous, but hamburgers and the food stuff they cooked wasn't. It probably was a little bit high, but not bad. I think it's probably the popcorn is what they sold most of, because that's just what people got when they was at the drive-in. Not realizing they could buy a freaking whole meal for what that bucket of popcorn cost.
Did they still have the speaker that clipped onto the car when you were going? Cause
oh yeah.
I can remember the speaker, but it switched over to radio. When I was in high school, I remember that we used to tune the radio in. And I can remember they still had the speakers there, and I remember when I was a little kid, you used the speaker.
Yeah, they had the speakers there until it closed. The drive-in was freaking awesome to hear it when you're not in a car, because we used to go in and sit in front of the projection window. So you'd hear all these freaking speakers that weren't in cars and were in cars if it was warm. They had windows rolled down. And the sound was just, I don't know, it was extremely full. Even though it wasn't really loud. You got a couple hundred speakers there that are putting out sound. You didn't miss anything in the movie. Sound.
Now even if you walked up to get popcorn, you could still hear it.
Oh, yeah. There's a documentary that I just saw here last couple months about drive-ins. And that got me to rethinking the one, which is why it's kind of in my memory at the moment. We did a lot of the drive-in, and hell, there was no internet or nothing.
No. No, when I was in high school, that was kind of the drive-in near us was where everybody kind of went to hang out a lot on friggin' Friday and Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, same deal with us, because we lived in a town that had a population of 100.
Yeah, we were close to I grew up near Williamsport, PA, which is kind of a small city, but I lived out in the boonies outside of the city, so everybody out by me always drove out to the drive-in.
There was I don't know, there's probably a dozen or a dozen and a half of us that pretty much went to the drive-in nearly every night of the summertime, just to hang out. Everybody would just meet there. Didn't matter what was on.
Yeah, we were there more to hang out than see whatever was on. You just kind of picked whatever. Well, the one we had 3 screens showing 2 movies each, so you just kind of picked whatever screen you wanted. You might be interested in one of the movies on all 6, out of all 6 of the movies. The rest of it you were just hanging out, drinking beer, talking to your friends.
I moved up here when I was 15, so it would have been before that we was down there. So I was probably 13, 14 years old when we was doing that. And we never did anything to get in any trouble. We drank a lot. Because the kid who lived next to the drive-in, his parents didn't give a shit if you drank or not, as long as you wasn't going away from the drive-in. They just wanted you close.
Oh, I got breaking news, guys. It's official. Hillary Clinton is running in 2020 again.
Oh, dear God.
Yep. And not only that, she's not running as a Democrat. She's running as a liberal.
Excellent.
That's great news.
That is great news.
So, yep, she announced it, I guess, today. And so, yeah. It's on, fuck. Dude, oh, dude. And it says, Mrs. Clinton will easily capture the 2020 nomination. If she could, okay, listen. If she didn't win the first time, and look at all the good shit Trump's done for our economy, everything, like, since the election, is she, like, if Trump had did, like, a really shitty job and hadn't kept all of his promises, okay, I could see it. But he's, like, kept, like, all of his promises. He's like, I mean, economy, everything's booming. There's not a fucking chance in hell It'll be like
But he's a
dude.
horrible racist who likes to sexually assault women all the time.
Hell, Hillary's probably done more assaulting the women than he has.
Well, she is a lesbian. You guys know that, right? Like, you guys heard the story about the one chick that came out, right? And was like, oh, I was Hillary's mistress, for like 15 years or whatever. Like back when Bill was in the White House and stuff, and before that. So like Bill and her have always had an arrangement that he could go get his piece and she could go get her piece because like their whole marriage was just political, right? And but like a chick came out and said like, yeah, I've been Hillary's lover for like 20 years, like, and so Hillary's like kind of there. A lot of people think that she's a lesbian. So.
It explain all the things.
It would explain a lot. It would explain a lot.
Did you guys hear about that joke Hillary made? A quote joke when she was doing an interview, and the interviewer mixed up two black politicians, called one by the wrong name. And Hillary, without missing a beat, goes, "Oh yeah, well,
that's fake.
Anyway.
That's fake. That was edited, potato. That's all. That's fake."
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So it was two different things, and then they edited it together to make it seem like it was racist, which was funny, but I don't necessarily approve of, because then that puts us down on their level, because that's the type of shit they do, and so I don't necessarily agree with it. Like, it was funny, but yeah, too many people thought that was like a real thing, and not not that I'm trying to defend her, but it's just the truth is the truth, and that it didn't happen. It didn't happen that way. No, yeah, it didn't really happen that way. I wish it would have. Don't get me wrong. I wish it would have really happened, but it didn't go down like that.
She was mentored by known racists. I don't think you really need an edited soundbite to show that she's a racist.
Yeah, exactly. She's a golden girl, dude. She's one of those golden girls, and that was a racist group from the South, dude. And like, yeah, it's like she's been around with racists like her whole career. So.
She spoke at Robert Burke's funeral, who was a fucking grand wizard of the KKK.
But the Democrats get a pass on everything.
That's because people are stupid and don't remember more than 5 minutes ago. If you go back to the 50s and 60s, people like Robert Byrd were the Democrats in the South, where they're from. That's where the KKK came from. They were all Democrats. You guys want to see where Hershey's chocolate comes from?
Pennsylvania?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. This is actually where you pick up. About to pick up about 35,000 pounds of Hershey's chocolate.
Where are you taking it to?
To a warehouse upstate and up in the top of PA here. As I get through this line.
Damn, looks like they're sending fucking chocolate everywhere.
This is a busy place. It's a big warehouse. Here, I can tell you. Let me see what I'm picking up. Actually, it's not even chocolate. Twizzlers. What else we got on here? Oh, no, there's chocolate on here, too. Twizzlers, Kit Kats, Hershey Premium, Hershey Baking Chips, Hershey's. It's all kinds of assorted shit that they make.
I know my old man hauled a freaking tanker of liquid chocolate out of there, I think, but somewhere from Hershey's. And when he would empty it, it was always more than they had ordered by a few gallons.
Yes.
The nature of tanker, and he'd bring fucking 5-gallon bucket of chocolate home. And, you know, as a kid, that was great for a while, but now I'm not really much on chocolate because I've had my friggin' fill of that shit.
Yeah.
It was always milk chocolate, too. It wasn't just dark, bitter chocolate, which I would like better.
Yeah, I like dark chocolate better. I think the tankers they fill with chocolate comes out of, there's a different plant on the other side of Hershey here. I think that's where that comes out of. I've never picked that up. I don't drive tanker. I drive refrigerated now. No.
I don't know where the hell he was going with it either. I think they were bringing it in here to Hostess.
Probably. Make chocolate icing for stuff and using the recipes.
But I really don't know. I can't remember. Hell, that's been 4 years ago.
Prime in front of me here, sliding his wheels. I'll have to get out and do that. Right. Alright, well, I'll be back. I gotta get out and slide the tandems on this.
See ya.
Oh, shit. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab something to eat. I'll be right back, too.
All right, see ya, Tony.
Yeah, that's what I'm missing is something to eat. I don't know what I want though.
Fuck, I can't eat this early. Hell, I'm normally not even out of bed for another 3 hours, 3 hours.
What are you doing up so early?
Oh, I was supposed to go grocery shopping yesterday morning with the wife and kids, and I didn't feel like it because I wanted to sleep in, so I planned on going after work last night since I'm up pretty late anyway. I had a pretty rough day at work, so I decided to just go home and go to bed, and I was like, I'll get up and do it in the morning. And now I'm regretting that decision. And it don't take that long to go grocery shopping, but if I get up and leave when my wife leaves, she gets to, help get the kids ready and get my daughter ready, so I don't have to do it. She just wakes me up. I drop her off at work and then go straight to the store. Easier to get up and get out of bed early when she's getting the baby ready. I got to get a hold of David about that furniture. Either today or tomorrow or Friday, I'll be able to pay him for it.
Key lime cheesecake. God Damn, that shit's sweet.
Yeah, it's good, but it'll rot your teeth out of your head in a hurry.
I ain't got any of them left anyway.
Now that's proactive thinking.
Nope, that's broadside in a car and a motorcycle at 60.
Yeah, well, you know, you're thinking ahead of that vehicle.
That was just being an idiot.
I think I'm gonna make me a grilled cheese.
I'm literally looking for stuff to make that right now. We do grilled cheese and soup sometimes.
Yup.
Grilled cheese and tomato soup is really good.
I got through security now. High security for chocolate.